What comes to mind when you hear the name of the country Israel?
I just think of religious things, religious wars and disputes.
Daily bombings.
I just know of what the news tells me, and it talks about little fights and conflicts all the time.
Like checkpoints everywhere you go, you have to, check with the military. It's like a military state.
War.
You don't know if war is going to break out where you are. If rocks are going to be thrown, if grenades are going to be thrown, if the army's going to start shooting. I mean, you just don't know. And so I can't say that I would feel safe.
I'm not as secure, and I can't just put my guard down the way I am around San Francisco.
Each side has their own valid point. It's just neither one seems to kind of be willing to budge.
It's just like this never-ending cycle of violence.
I'm uncomfortable with the settlers taking over the Palestinian land.
It's essentially an illegal occupation. It's not recognized by anyone as legitimate except for the Israeli government.
An illegal occupation based on religion.
And I can understand that you want to find a homeland, but at least negotiate with the people who have been there for centuries and come to some terms as to maybe you can carve out a region where they can both live in peace.
And now, like, all they want to do is just get what's theirs, but Israel is like unwilling to yield on that because of the fact that it is all holy land.
Yeah, it's extremely unfair. It's a lot like what happened to, I guess the American Indians here in the U.S. where they get shuttled into like reservations.
I do like this one, and I think that the reason that maybe I like it a lot is because it kind of seems like a lot of things that San Francisco is to me already, and that feels homey.
There's a vibrancy within them that is friendly. It's very inviting to me.
All of these changed the way that I would have expected someone to market to me for Israel. Obviously, I really appreciated this the most, but even these images just showing you a lighter side, because something about Israel, it just feels heavy. It feels religious. It feels like there's a lot to it. And these are lighthearted girls at a cafe and, like a stand getting a Coke, something that as an American I easily can relate to and go, oh, okay, it's not that different.
Why did it change your opinion?
Not knowing much about Israel besides what's depicted on the news, mostly the conflict, I didn't realize it was so gay friendly.
The information is good. I didn't have any idea about gay officers being able to serve their country or any that they were fine with them going to holy sites.
The text out in Israel and also the text in Free to Be was great, uplifting.
But the fact that they're highlighting that actually they're affording rights to their citizens that even we are still kind of struggling with.
This one also changed my perception because it's one thing for a people to accept their own people, but for government to step up to the plate is saying another thing, so I like that.
Does it make you more interested in, more likely to travel or study there?
I think so too, because you sort of have this impression that Israel is a very intolerant society. And if they're extending freedoms to the gay and lesbian population, to me it makes them seem less intolerant.
The fact that they are so open and like encouraging people to be, open about their lifestyle is a positive thing for me because it makes them seem more friendly.
Who agrees with Megan? All right, everyone?
Like I said, those two words come together, Israel and investments. It just doesn't sound like it's something that's going to be stable.
I don't know much of the Israeli economy, and as far as like what type of great industrial things they have to claim for.
I've always thought that the most important thing was stability and like safe investments.
I love this one.
What did you rank that?
number one.
I had no idea, like Linda said, I had no idea that all these things were developed in Israel. I didn't know that their economy was so dynamic in terms of tech.
Has a lot of great facts and a lot of things I didn't know about before that really, I guess, changed my opinion.
Just in terms of them talking about stability was one of the main reasons to invest. And obviously that was my reason for not wanting to invest, is I didn't think of it as that stable of a country.
I thought it was interesting that they have more stocks on the NASDAQ than like Japan or China, which are like pretty industrial countries.
The one thing that that I didn't realize was how easy it is to invest in them, being, you know, listed on the NASDAQ.
My opinion changed because it seems much better than I imagined.
Definitely the investment exercise was great. Lots I didn't know there. I'm much more confident in going to Israel or relating to the country in general.
It seems to me like a more pleasant place to travel than I had initially perceived.
I saw a different side through the messaging.
So now it appears that, you know, my perception is broadened in terms of what they do.
It's also just refreshing to know that even though they're having conflict, they're also progressing as a country, because I don't feel I hear enough about their progression.
Basically their priorities. I can make a priority list in my mind of what that country values. Equal rights, innovation, food.